Hello everyone, hope all of you are having a good Sunday. Should be working now. No, the stream didn't start. It was just me that I had an issue with my controller actually, and I had to shuffle the cables a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out what's causing it, which is weird. But I have an idea. I think it's just detecting two controllers for something that I have connected on the PC. I'll figure it out. But it's weird because I wasn't having that issue last time. Ah well. Hope all of you guys are doing well, enjoying your Sunday. Hello Lamborghini, hello Senko, hello Ibix, hello Randome, hello Lucas Full, hello Zucchinis. Let me do that. Tag everyone on Discord because, you know, YouTube is YouTube and it doesn't like working, and no matter when you're reading this. So, good news and bad news. Good news is, OBS finally has fixed the CSS issue that was plaguing everyone, including myself. Bad news is I forgot how I had it set up, so the characters are going to look a bit weird. I'm going to play a little bit off stream and see what do I like. But yeah, it should be good now. Keeping me company, I'm the only one running the... Oh man! I hope you have a good Sunday at work, Randomax. I'm going to try to make it as good as possible. YouTube doesn't like working, I don't like working too. Well, I mean, I'm a YouTuber for a reason, I suppose. So we're all on the same ship here. Can't complain. So, where did we left off? That's a good question. Four-wheel drive, MR. You know, I think we're going to start buying the run with the day with a new car. Keep things relatively simple. Now, I never used this thing before, but it does come in a surprisingly nice variety of colors. I mean, I have to, right? I mean, it's on the channel. I absolutely have to, don't I? But I really like this shade of green for some reason. I mean, the truck will probably see a bit more service, depends on how things play out, I suppose. But it did enough, it carried us through the Japanese Championship, which means that's one car less that I have to buy. Yeah, well... it has to be. Yeah, it has to be. Hello Lucas, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, we're not doing Honda 1 makes. Not with this thing. Things I want to buy. Maybe. Oh no. 9 horse. That's not a lot. 20 horsepower. That's better. How much does it weigh? It's relatively light. I'm going to try to do this with only a turbo kit. And the oil change. Mandatory. Hey Grievous, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. I don't really know anything about this car. Like seriously, I know nothing about it. It's probably one of the rare occasions where I can actually say something about it, because I just don't know a single thing. Despite it being a car from the 1970s, it's new to me. No, you can't enter World Classics or 1000 miles because it's a 70s car. And even then, there's a problem with that. which is actually, it might. Yeah, this one can enter World Classics, but there's a problem. I need to do this. This, and for this I need a specific car, sadly. And given that I need a classic car for American events as well, it's kind of... I mean, the fact that it can do World Classics is irrelevant, really. For the run that I have planned. United even had a convertible concept variant. I actually don't remember that one. No, this is not where I want to go. This is where I want to go. Yeah, good. We're almost complete with Japanese events. That's pretty good. Quick progress. Yeah, unknown cars are pretty nice to get into. I really like looking into obscure cars. This should be easy. I don't trust the 280 set though. That's some could be quick. Never mind, he's getting stuck behind the Mirage. Cool. Never mind. Japanese traffic of the 1970s. Literally, look at all these cars. I have to say, it does look good. It's really pretty cool. Classic fraud shenanigans. Ah, there it goes. The Datsun taking off. Probably sport suspension kit wouldn't be bad, but it doesn't feel necessary, to be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be... It's not going to be the best cars. The best car in the sense of driving experience, really, but it's functional. And it can complete a couple of events, so yeah. We aren't concerned about much else for the time being. I do like the Galant in front. It has a really nice shade of blue. Some people might say that it's trying to copy a Camaro, first-gen Camaro color scheme, but yeah, the 280 is going to be quicker than everyone else, myself included here. But if I can keep up with it, then I can overtake it just fine. That's a challenge. Well, trying to resume everything will be kind of hard. You have to watch the other videos. You have to tune in. But it's going well. We're just getting started for the day. Yeah, you can buy that. You can buy the 280. I just got the mix. That's a 280, and you can buy that. It's not a bad car. Well, it's just better options for the money. Yeah, they were taking a lot of inspiration from American cars, and at the same time they were trying really hard to appeal to American customers, so yeah, they try to make their cars look familiar to them. So you can spot some similarities. Surprising when you think about it that, say, by the 70s, you have 55, 65. So let's just say that on 75, the US just took Japan 30 years ago, and they were buying cars from them left and right. Funny how things work. Oh no. I have to plug this. God, the body roll is probably the worst part of it all. The rest I don't care about, but the body roll is just too annoying. Yeah, the other guys were no match. And the Mirage is obviously last. Obviously, always. So how's everyone this weekend? Did you all do anything interesting? Or just another weekend? Oh, pump the microphone. No, I mean, it does have grip. It's not that. It's just that older cars have really soft suspension setups from factory, and this is no exception. So it rolls all over the track whenever you want to change directions at a really high speed. Then again, you shouldn't do that, obviously. It's not part of the mentality, but you kind of have to if you want to block. So I get screwed over. I have to be really careful. Hey Jordan, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. During your week after a week of job training, are you being trained or you are training someone else? I guess I already baked cookies, so everything's good. Well, that's nice. Today's a day for cookies. Here it's really cloudy and cold. Body roll and understeer because this is a front-wheel drive car. That turning radius isn't so good. It's really stiff. Not much I can tell you. Being trained. What sort of position then? Curious. GT3 is pretty fun. There's something I want to do with GT3, but I haven't gotten around it. Maybe one day. I have so many things to do. And there's probably going to be big news this week. I'll probably give it a bit more testing time, and then I'll make the reveal. I have new types of content coming along. I have more power than he does on the uphill. That's impressive. But then again, not really. It's probably more torque. Than power. It's probably more torque thanks to the turbo. Kitchen section in a cafe, despite me having almost no cooking skills. That's alright, Belgian mercenary. Hope it goes well. It's always a good thing to learn something new. Hey Tradox, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. It's not smog here, but it's really dark because it's raining. Oh yeah, we're having a bit of a couple of rainy days here. It's not rain, it's just really dark and cloudy, but probably temperature change related. Because it was really warm and now it's getting a bit cold, more appropriate for winter days, so there's that, probably. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, you totally should, because we need those to keep growing the channel. And I'm sure all of you want to help me out to continue growing. Unless you all want me to be small and disappear. Oh. Yeah, sure, doesn't matter, I'm first. And go wide. I mean, I don't really want to invest more money into this thing. I really don't. It's not that I need it, but it shall be functional enough to actually complete this without major modifications. Probably need a bit more for FF challenge. This is the front wheel drive car that I will use. Yeah. I went wide, and even then that was my fastest lap so far. Final rain for the day, and final temperatures went to 35 to 20-ish. Oh, enjoy those days. Yeah, those breaks in summer are always appreciated. Yeah, but I don't think the 79 Bluebird is is the car that I'm looking for. But yeah, I know it exists. Oh, GTR. Yeah, the GTR is gonna be interesting. This race could be slightly annoying. Because it's Tsukuba, it's short, I don't have handling, and there's a car which is clearly faster than I am. But still, we'll be fine. Fine. It's not fine if I'm gonna crash into those guys. Oh, there's two GTRs. That's interesting. All those guys fight among themselves. I can actually try to catch up to them. They're gonna be faster than me in the straightaway, though. Are you sure about that? I'm going to lose to Hakosuka? I don't think so. She'll be getting closer to them. Yeah, I am getting closer to them. Excuse me, what were you saying before? Couldn't read it. Couldn't hear it either. God, the Galant is just gonna behave like a roadblock. Something in this group of cars sounds really weird. I don't know if you all heard it. One of those cars sounded like you could hear like some sort of high-pitched noise, which was really strange. Here comes the Kenmedi. I'll have to hold against the Kenmedi until the end of the race. Evolution of GT wheel screech. Basically, I think from Gran Turismo 1 to 3 there's no evolution, if I recall. No, the game is vanilla. I didn't install any mods on this one. I just installed graphic mod, changed the UI as usual, and nothing else. Now this is vanilla GT4 because I need price cards that only appear in it. I have pretty good acceleration at the low ranges. He starts to pick up at higher ranges, it seems, though, but out of the corner I'm quicker than he is. But yeah, the rear-wheel drive car is gonna hold that corner much better than myself. Yeah, no, it's stock. It's literally a vanilla GT4. What do you think about the Dodge Viper in this game? There's a few Dodge Vipers. The SRT10 is better than the GTS, as far as I know. The SRT10 is pretty good. It's a pretty good car. Really competitive and against much faster cars. Will probably compete in GT World Championship, probably. I don't remember. No, Motorland reverse. Maybe we see. Maybe we see some front-wheel drive understeer action. At long last. I don't know. I don't think these cars are fast enough to actually understeer into the pit lane, but you never know. Of course, it's the Skyline which starts on first. I mean, GT4 has really bad engine sounds, to be fair. You probably don't hear them that well because the game audio is low on the stream, so you can actually hear me. Given that it's not that easy to understand me, or so I think, the game audio is always really low on my channel. Uh-oh. Should be fine. Yeah, this is going to be a bit trickier than Sukuba. Mostly because I'm not that good in the circuit. Oh my god, just of course. Of course, the lack of an LST is costing me. The inner wheel starts to spin and the car just... Yeah, does that. Good. Really good. I don't think anyone's gonna pit this race. It seems they're too slow to actually understeer off the track. At least not unless I help them. Waterland is a really fun track. Depends on the car you're driving, like always. I think the Skyline is gonna be a problem here. I'm certain. It's just rear-wheel drive cars are going to do much better than the front-wheel drive car in this circuit. Just a matter of handling. He went a bit wide there. So did I, actually. So did I, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm a second closer this time. I think last split was 3. I'm getting closer to it. Random one wheel spinning. That's one of the most annoying things of driving front-wheel drive cars, the fact that you just always have one wheel which starts spinning randomly without the LST. Really frustrating. I have 4 laps, so if I'm closer, officially I don't think I'm closer to it. Yeah, I'm not gonna get closer if I have to brake off the corner like that. I think I actually lost time. Yeah, I actually lost time. Yeah, and the moment I try to be fast on this turn, the car just starts spinning its wheels and I lose so much speed. That is really frustrating. I'll give this another try, and then if not, I'll just buy the LST because I have to buy it anyway. Never mind. Never mind. What was I saying? Another attempt? Yeah, no, we're going to do an extra one. 2 seconds isn't that much, but it seems that I cannot make more time across the track because I have to be really slow. Damn. You know, the car cannot put its power down, it's just constantly spinning its wheels. Small tires probably don't help. How far away I am? 3 seconds already. That's not good. Yeah, no. It ain't happening. I could take another grid, or I could actually put the LSD which I need for future races anyway. Go the wrong way. The only thing the one way does is it has a set acceleration setting on the LSD. It's not ideal, but for low power front wheel drives it's actually okay. So you can get by. Finally, now we can accelerate in this corner without spinning my wheels. It's not that bad, it's just the fact that this car is... It's a front wheel drive car and it needs an LSD to actually be drivable. That's all there is to it, really. Yeah, now this is going to be pretty simple. See, before I couldn't even accelerate on that corner without spinning my wheels, now I can. So don't underestimate the one-way LSD when you're driving a front-wheel drive car. Not ideal if you're going for a pretty... You know, for a proper expensive build, but if you're on a budget and you just need to improve the car's handling, then yeah, sure. If it's a front-wheel drive car, of course. If you want for a rear-wheel drive car, you should buy at least a 1.5, which has a bit of deceleration as well. I don't think the two-way is worth it. You might as well just buy fully customizable instead. Yeah, it's a front-wheel drive car, so it's gonna... Those tires are going to take a beating. Yeah, for a moment I thought I was going to go out, so I just went quiet there, wondering what the car was going to do. Guess not. Tires are tiny though, they just seem so tiny in this car. Thank you, controller, for applying the brakes on me. I have to work less and less now, my controller brakes for me. Not at the right moment, but at least it does brake for me. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, the lap is going to be slower with all the incidents. Then again, I admit my line through here is kind of atrocious. But it does get me by. Audio wheels. Oh no. Actually, I like Oreos. We don't eat them all that often because you know they're bad for you, but I do like Oreos. That's something I can get behind. My lap was even slower. Rather than getting faster, I was getting slower. No, if I go into the pits, I lose the race. I just lose a race. Yeah, well, I'm not going sea diving with this thing. Yeah, cars used to run much smaller tires before, to be honest. Trial Mountain. By the way, if you haven't left a like, you absolutely should, so we can get more people in the stream and we can keep growing this channel, which totally deserves to keep growing, don't you think? Now, we're not doing any races which require pitting. I mean, maybe if we reach the goal for the endurance mod, we'll have to do more races which have pitting. But for that, we need more YouTube members. I want to get behind this Mirage Gold, whatever it's called. Probably the worst car in the entire game. Ow. Probably, I never tried, but yeah, it should be possible. That's a Lancer, I believe. I didn't know what was the leading car, I thought it was one of those Galants, but no, it's the Lancer. Eesh, you kind of stolen it straight away. Yeah, I'm gonna stall a little bit through here. These uphills are pretty steep. But it does seem I'm gaining on my opponent, so it's fine. Guess he's stalling as well. Yeah, I was kind of optimistic. I didn't realize how fast I was going. I was like, yeah, the car's gonna grip. And then I forgot that I have paper thin tires and... Yeah, no, this thing doesn't drive too well. So, yeah, of course I was going to head straight into a wall if I kept looking behind. Shouldn't matter too much. I'm not the biggest fan of this thing, let me tell you. I've driven better cars, but I do need a car from the 1970s, which is Japanese. And Trail Mountain is really fun. I like Trail Mountain. Yeah, exactly. If you aren't looking anywhere but the road, you're gonna end up against a wall or against a car. Or against someone. You have to look where you're going, not somewhere else. But this is a game, so I can afford to do that. I can afford to look anywhere but the track itself, especially at the chat. That way I can just masquerade my errors. Oh no, I look at the screen. We have to do the race again. Oh. Was that jump on camera? If that jump was on camera, I'll have to see. I'll have to check if that jump was on camera, because if it is, that's thumbnail material. Gonna speed this up real quick. It won't take too long. Hey Kamikaze, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. First lap. Still a bit of the second lap. Coming to the end of the second lap. It should be here. Please tell me that there's a good angle on the jump. Ah, no. That's kind of trash for a thumbnail. That's a really bad that's a really bad angle. God damn it, GT4. Here I thought you will be on my side. Hey look, a GTR. You always need one of these, by the way. Gonna put a few parts to take it to a FF challenge. Still, I mean, yeah, I guess I there are moments where I get annoyed with certain circuits, but that doesn't mean I hate them. I don't really know much about this Honda. I'm not going to recognize it as my child, Tradox, no. Just appeared here, and so I'm just looking after it, because that's what any normal person will do. Just look after it and then send it off once it's doing well. I'm gonna buy the suspension, might as well. Might as well. I don't think this thing gets a wing though. Which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Hey, he gets a wing! Ooh. Doesn't look that good though. Looks so weird. Yes, fake loading bars. My favorite. Here are the parts on Babysitter. I guess, I don't know. Super early iCard, and it had air-cooled inline 4. I'll have to look into what this thing is. Probably look into what this thing is when this becomes a video. I can actually give it a bit of an introduction. This is probably too overpowered. But what's done is done. Honestly, I don't really mind if the sticks are offset or not. I just use them. I'm not too exquisite with that, I suppose. If the controller works and it responds to my inputs well, and the triggers aren't, you know, too sensitive, or that they respond well, you know, that they aren't an on-off switch, I'm fine, really. Alpha 166, Celica. Oof, that sound. Sounds like a bunch of angry bees now. Yeah, at first I thought, oh wow, the Xbox control must be so uncomfortable. Then I just bought a copy of one, and it took me 5 minutes to get used to it. It took me longer to memorize the button names for the, you know, instead of cross, circle, square, and triangle, the names of A, B, X, and Y, to know which one is where, than actually get used to the layout of the controller, to be honest. I still don't remember that well, but the layout is just fine for me. There's a car manufactured by Honda at that point, and was released then in the coupe. Ah, interesting, randomly, thanks. Yeah, so this was probably Honda's main family car. Aim to compete with the bigger cars on the Japanese market, makes sense. It was more of a in-between car, so this car led to the development of both the Civic and the Accord. That's cool. You know, not many brands realize what they can learn from their failed projects, just to show Honda knew what they were doing. These streams deserve some more likes, and yeah, deserve some more problems. Well, thank you, Antonio. Thank you for reminding everyone that they should leave a like on the stream if they haven't already. The latter one, I mean, it will be nice, but I can't really force people to actually part ways with their income, you know. Oh god, it looks so wrong. It looks so wrong. If only it just didn't transform the handling of the car. It looks so bad. My god. The wing seems bigger than the car itself. Or it's just me. The cells of the wing look bigger than the car itself. I mean, just look at them. There's more. The struts are bigger than the wing. God. Nah, GT4 looked really good at the time, but I think there's a bit of an issue with GT4. Sorry, had to drink water. The issue with GT4, I think, is the fact that people don't... There's not many people around who actually play the game in a CRT natively. I was one of those who actually played the game on a CRT natively, and yeah, sure, compared to other PS2 games, it looked impressive. But it didn't look like you're watching right now. And a lot of people assume that it looked like this, but it didn't. It didn't look this good. But yeah, it was pretty impressive at the time. Yeah, downforce is always useful, that's why it's here. Oh, there's an Avantime on this grid. Another race, another punch on the lead. Same color and everything. Those things came in yellow, by the way. Just as a reminder, they came in... Oh my god, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Fiat Punto. Yeah, I kind of get repetitive to see the East Circuit time and time again, to be honest. There's not much you can do to, though. It's faster than me. He's heavier, so I'm just gonna block him. Has to brake much earlier than I do. And he has no LSD, so he's probably understanding of corners. I mean, Puntos aren't bad cars, to be honest. They're just cars. They're just one of many NPC cars roaming the world. Every region has them. The Punto joins among many others. Small channels are more respectful than mega channels. The problem is that I was talking about that with someone. When communities grow bigger, what you're playing is a numbers game, really. So it's not that there's more respectful, it's just that you have more chances of encountering people which are kind of unbearable, because there's more people involved. Then again, I kind of need to become a big channel if I actually want to, you know, do well, so... yeah. That will feel pretty good. I don't know if I had to... yeah, I probably had to brake a bit more though. Ah well. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, I would really appreciate it if you did. There's only 18 likes and there's many more of us, so... if we want more people to come here, and if we want this channel to do well, then you shall totally leave one. Yep, what did I press? Yeah, the double press, okay. No, Sanko, I don't think we're just that kind of people, to be honest. There's many people who actually pander to that public, but I don't think my approach really works with those characters. I don't think it's ever going to be, and I think that reflects on channel size as well. I don't know. Just a thought. Oh, there's an SRT4 on the grid. Nope. The SRT4 appears and brake checks me, nice. Yeah, Balkan Mercenary, I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed that. The front looks really similar to the Dolomite. I mean, it has a pretty big wing. Can you stop crashing into that SRT4? Please? No, GTV is also blocking me. Okay. Yeah, technically it was the SRT4 alone, but that's an Eon. Who cares? If it has 4 legs and barks, it's a dog type of thing. So, yeah. I don't think DSR. I mean, the SRT4 has gotten a bit of a reputation, but you know, it'll be worse. Now people realize that they're kind of cool and they all want them. They came around 200 something horsepower stock. I mean, they were pretty insane. I'm not I'm pretty certain that they have open diffs and nothing, you know. Sure, they had power, but they couldn't actually put that power down. I don't remember which options. Oh god, that Barquetta almost went flying on the little bump. Yeah, it goes to 240 stock. I don't like the situation. 2 laps is really short to actually recover all the positions really with a rolling grid. It's always good old artificial difficulty moment. The 350 sets are getting harder. I mean, they're still there, but the thing is, like, they have all been absolutely trash. And I was talking with someone about that too, and that's the most 350 sets are all trashed, and 370 sets are going to face the same fate soon enough. 2 laps. I mean, if there's no rolling grid, but you know, managed to make it work. With 1 second to spare. Well, to be honest, the Avantime got dealt a really rough hand. It's Hong Kong. It's a really bad circuit for it. First pair of sneezes of the stream. Uh-oh. I mean, no, but it's gonna do worse at Hong Kong. Can I get past you? Yeah, sure. Hey, there are you. There are all of our YouTube members. Oh, 206cc. I know I always say the same when I see one of these, but they're stupid, but I kind of like them. I don't know. I will totally get one if they weren't $10,000 here. And I know in most corners of the world those things are totally buyable as a first car, but here, nah. I'll need a lot of your help if I actually want to get one of those. Well, the eclipse is gonna be a bit of a problem, I think. It's really far away and I have no actual power to actually see. Look, it's gone. 4 seconds ahead. No, it's not a Skull, it's a Nissan Primera. I'm not catching up that thing. I'm not catching up to it, that's completely outclassing me. I only have another lap. Sure, why not? It'll be fine. It's the B8 SHO, right? 4. Front-wheel drive B8. It's more common than you might believe, actually. Yeah, Barquette is a pretty good looking car in a nice color. No, it's easy. I know I make fun about it, but there's nothing wrong with it. Oh, the GTV on green is so good, though. For me, that's the car to have. Yeah, there's a few front-wheel drive B8s, to be honest. I think it's a really stupid combination, but sure, you know, it's there. I don't really know why will you go for it. No, sport hard tires don't have more acceleration. Why will you say that? Yeah, the Theme A32 is front-wheel drive. Yeah. GTV, please. Yeah, the W8 Passat. Yeah, that's a thing. But those were all-wheel drive. Well, all-wheel drive. I don't know if it was a Haldex system, like Volkswagen likes to do so much. But yeah, those existed, and they sound insane though. But they're all automatics, if I recall. Sadly. Yeah, the Impala cells was also front-wheel drive V8. Well, depends on the generation of the Impalas. The 90s Impala says that the one based off the Caprice Poly was rear-wheel drive. Yeah, I actually mentioned the Passat W8 like 2 minutes ago or less. Yeah, the Lincoln Town Car was. The Lincoln Town Car was front-wheel drive. The later ones, or they were rear-wheel? No, the later ones were rear-wheel drive. It was one of the last V8 rear-wheel drive cars that you could buy, if I recall. The 607 is front-wheel drive. Yeah, it's not rear-wheel drive. None of those platforms are rear-wheel drive. C6 is front-wheel drive. 607 is front-wheel drive. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't think this actually works as a taxi, Happy, because it only has 2 doors, but it does have a wing. You can see the bit of people there. Maybe that works. I mean, in all honesty, it's kind of a pointless layout. Having like a case where it actually did something. Yeah, the town cars, I think it was the same platform as the Marauder. Oh, that's a Vectra. Vectra V6 at that. That's gonna understeer more than me, that's for sure. Life can always be worst. I could be driving that Vectra right now. Yeah, but they're completely different cars. I mean, the Taurus police car came much later. So, comparing them to the Crown Victoria is like just apples to oranges. Completely different platforms, completely different cars. So, seems like a bit of a random comparison, to be honest. I mean, the Lotus Omega was kind of... Well, the carton is more known as the Lotus carton. It was kind of impossible for it to take off because building them was ridiculously difficult, for one. The cars were completed in Germany, then they were sent to Lotus in the UK. Complete cars. Lotus then gutted them apart, did the modifications that they wanted to do to the engine, interior, exteriors, put them back together, and then sold them off. Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, you're never going to make anything reasonable like that. It's just too complicated. In order for it to be a viable competitor to the other offerings, they should have a better production process. But no, they didn't, and so they made like a couple thousand before they pulled the plug. The whole thing about the image of the car, it's all really extra. The main point is the fact that the car was almost impossible to produce in a... They weren't produced in a streamlined manner. They were just hand-built, and they took ages to actually build them, to be honest. I can't sell the concept car, but I can probably sell the Skyline. If I can find it. There you are. 16k, that's okay for me. Your car has been sold. Four-wheel drive challenge and MR challenge. Professional events. Oh yeah, I have to do all professional events, but the tuning car Grand Prix. And Japanese cars, I only have JGTC left, so what's gonna be the next car? Yeah, actually, I think we're going to go European. Nah, Regal 2, this is a regular run. Just a really optimized run of GT4, trying to complete all regional events and GT World Championship with the least amount of cars possible. Yeah, what better... We could actually buy 2 of this. We can buy the S3. Or we can buy a V6A3. Usually always buy the S3. So I'm kind of tempted to buy the V6, to be honest. The Opera S2000 doesn't fill any slot in our run, and the Clio V6 will probably come on later. Because I need a car for Schwarzwald DK and an all-wheel drive car. Just trying to pick a color. Yeah, but the Lotus will never eat sales of the 24 BAL Omegas because they're not the same marketplace share whatsoever. I mean, the customer who bought a Lotus Carlton was never going to buy a Vauxhall 24 BALs. Yeah, I like it in green, sure. So can yellow. I always buy yellow cars. I mean, I don't refuse that. It looks absolutely beautiful. But I think I want it in green. Now you're making me question myself. Now the A3. Fourth car of the run. Yes, a DTM tournament you can grind for easy money, yes. That's known. I mean, I could do the one make race for the for the A3s. But I don't really need the money. By the way, you should totally leave a like on the stream if you haven't already, so we can get this channel to more people. We're still running a bit low on likes, so you'll have to click that like button. Come on, get it done. Same issue? What do you mean with same issue? That's too vague. I need details. It behaving like a front-wheel drive car on GT4 or a real-life issue? differential. Yeah, I actually don't know. It will make sense if it does. Hello, Kanso. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I didn't put an oil change on this thing, but yeah. Doubt it's required. Ooh, that BMW in the lead. That's pretty. We have an Audi S3, another Audi A4, a Golf R32, which is kind of platform related to the A3, and 2 BMWs. So this is a full Volkswagen grid against 2 BMWs. I will feel sorry for those guys, but no. I do like the M Coupe on the lead. That's beautiful, beautiful color. I absolutely adore those things. Oh yes, I actually sent on the Discord server, which if you haven't joined, there's a link in the description to my Discord server. You'll be notified whenever I go live, which is better than YouTube. And they sent a couple of articles. One, they sent an article of a Porsche 1-off that they just built. A 993 911 Speedster. They took 3 years to actually build a car. I don't know that much. I don't remember if the A3 has that problem, Daria, but in all honesty, that's that issue seems like a piece of caused by. It seems to be caused by the fact that the ATT has a Haldex system, and the Haldex all-wheel drive system behaves as a front-wheel drive car until it detects that the rear wheels are losing traction. But GT4 can't emulate that, so it just behaves as a front-wheel drive car. Don't really know if they just had the same problem with the A3. Really, it doesn't seem to be the case, as far as I know. Hello, Warzone. We can read you just fine. Welcome to the stream. Firework seems to be something. Just seem to wear its tires like, yeah, they are with a all-wheel drive experience where the front tires take a beating. Yeah, tire wear isn't a highlight. It's probably a bit heavy, and the stress on those front tires is probably substantial. Ow. Bit of off-roading never hurts. To say, I'm pretty happy with my color choice. It looks really pretty. Oh. Oh, right, we got an extra lap. I thought it was only a 2-lap race. Never mind. So yes, I was talking before, like that 911 Speedster built by Porsche. Or their special wishes department. They can just build anything if you have the money, really. So what they did, which I found really interesting, is instead of they got given a 993 Carrera convertible, right? And what they did is turn it into a Speedster spec. And above all, they actually changed the engine. Well, modified the engine to Carrera RS specs, which is a 3.8 liter engine rather than the standard 3.6, and producing just a tiny bit of power. So yeah, you just have a 911 Speedster with a Carrera RS drivetrain engine, which is insane, really. 993 RSs are not that common, actually. Only a couple of thousand of them, if I recall. Because the game doesn't allow, that's why I can't flip the car. Just the way it works, I don't control the physics of the game. Hey, the 330 has a similar shade of green as mine, just a bit brighter and more bluish. Yeah, I'm faster than it on a straight line though. Somehow. Then again, I have weight reduction, so that might help. NS3 on the lead. The car which I almost buy. Almost bought, by the way. No, buy. Past tense. I already have my A3. I don't really need another one. I wouldn't say adblock kills small channels. To be honest, ad revenue pays next to nothing. Because I have ads disabled on my streams, so you won't get ads automatically whenever you watch them. Because honestly, there's not much to be made. I make much more from donations and the support from my viewers, to be honest. So that's more important to me. But I do admit that everything helps at the end of the month, and yeah, ad revenue is one thing which people use to actually, you know, earn income on YouTube. So if you're making a living like this out of this, like myself, everything matters at the end of the month. I know, I mean, it's an ethical choice which people have to make. But I guess I have no stance on it, really. You do what you want to do. Yeah, exactly, Sanka. Pretty much. I mean, you kind of get around $1-ish from 1,000 views, by the way. At least this channel, so... Look at my views. I don't really get that many views to actually say that that revenue is making me rich. But what I did, because I use YouTube all the time, I just bought YouTube Premium, to be honest. Not that, I mean, at least for me, compared to the fact that I always use it, that's what I did. That was my option, and I took it, but I understand if people don't want to do it, you know, that's fair. You shouldn't be forced to part ways with your money if you don't want to. Unless it comes to my end. If it comes to me, then yes, absolutely, you should. I mean, depends. I mean, I use YouTube all the time, so for me it is worth it. But if you don't use YouTube all the time, then maybe it's not worth it for you. Yeah, also that's true. Creators, we get a bit more from YouTube Premium viewers, so there's that. That's a 4-lap race. I thought it was a 3-lap race. No. At least I didn't crash head on into the wall. Honestly, I just pay for YouTube Premium because a lot of the time I just like to put videos on the background while I'm recording or doing things, so to me it works. I mean, to me it's so useful. But again, it's not useful for everyone, and if it's not useful for you, then why should you pay it? Why should you pay for something which doesn't work out for you? It shouldn't be that way. No stock GT4 sounds, but this B6 sounds rather good. I like it. These things sound excellent in real life, like this 3.2 A3s, they sound absolutely insane. But it's kind of hard to find one with a manual from what I know. At least all the ones I see here, in my country, they're all automatics for the most part. Which is kind of sad, but, you know, it makes sense. It's kind of the high-end, it was the high-end offering of the A3 range. Then again, that B6 is not going to do wonders for handling. Pretty hefty car. I use it to get rid of ads because I watch on multiple devices, including TVs and stuff that can have ad blockers installed. Yeah, that's true too. If you're gonna be watching on a phone or a TV, then yeah, sure, YouTube Premium also comes in handy. Hey, 4 o'clock, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Donations like yours keep this channel going. So I appreciate it quite a lot. I'm going to add you right away as the race finishes. And so I don't have to pause, which is good. Even if it is going to stutter a little bit. Really watch TV, but you know, my mother watches TV, so we have a TV with a Chromecast because we got a bigger TV, which was better than the ones we had around, but it wasn't a smart TV, so that's what it's using right now. By the way, there's 40 of us and only 25 likes, so if you really want to help this channel to keep growing, for free may I add, you should leave a like on this stream. Otherwise, YouTube is going to come into my home and tell me that I'm not doing good enough, and just make it harder for me to leave bed every single morning to actually do something. Hey, it's Autumn Ring. I shall use Spotify for music. But sometimes only certain things are only on YouTube, but usually use YouTube for things that you just can't find on albums, like, you know, say live recordings, things like that usually. And sending single songs through my Discord server when I don't want to send albums. Which is weird, because I usually just listen to entire albums rather than just single songs. I know, that's just the way I listen to music, really. Uh-oh. Yeah, but I don't really use the Spotify recommendations. I just look the albums that I want to listen. I never use them at all. I want to listen to X. Put it on the browser. It's there. Good. Click. Stop listening. That's the way I do it, really. Yeah, I would like to collect vinyls, but to be honest, I don't have the money, neither the space, really. Don't have the money for the turntables, speakers, buying the records themselves. Let's not get into that one. Yeah, no, I mean, I just live on the most basic aspect of human life, so luxuries like those will have to wait until I have a bigger channel, to be honest. BBC Essential mixes for the past 25 years. So you downloaded about 70 hours of 2 hours mixes. That's a lot of music. Down there. Hope it's serving you well. Oh yeah, for some reason, whenever I just grab my phone and want to start listening music, I have premium on Spotify, right? It has like auto shuffle enabled, and you just have to disable it at times. I don't know if it stopped doing that, but whenever I click on the songs that I like, my entire list appears with the shuffle icon enabled, and you have to disable it manually. Spotify is good for finding new music, their algorithm is really good. I never really experienced that. I usually look for things on my own, or actually asks for recommendations to very select people that I actually know, because I know that I can trust their judgment. I'm really peculiar with music, to be honest. I like to do things on my own way. Hey Marcelo, Prince from Brazil, Prince from Argentina then. So much for over 100 A-spec points. I'm actually demolishing the field with a relatively stock car. Ah, that's okay, Andy. I appreciate the thought, but honestly, I just look for things my own, and just find it interesting that your list was composed by a Reddit. It's just really fun to me. And sure, different tools for different people. It's good to have options rather than be tied to a single platform, to be fair. As long as there are options, I'll be happy. Yeah, well, those are the joys of emulation. It's upscaled, playing at 16:9, so... I was mentioning that earlier, that people assume that GT4 looks this good on a native console. It doesn't. Yeah, there's an HDOI that you can find and upload it, mod it through the emulator, and that's why it looks so good. My house is near flooding. Jesus Christ, stay safe. That's not good at all. Yeah, no, I know you weren't bashing anything, Scott. I absolutely got that. And yeah, it's a fair point. The forced shuffle for free listeners is... Yeah, I suppose I've been an early adopter of Premium because last time I wasn't using Premium, the only issue that you had were the ads in between songs. No. This ain't Most Wanted. We don't need you. Off to Rockport you go. Yeah, I'm gonna do all-wheel drive races now. Might as well get them out of the way. Yeah, actually I need a bit of money, so it's good to just get more and more credits. There's a few cars that are kind of expensive in the run, actually. The story of the M3 GTR outside Most Wanted, I just make fun of it, but it's actually a pretty cool car. Ah, of course, 10 points because there's a Dodge Ram in the way. There's a yellow Stagia too, that's pretty cool. Oh, he's squeezing out the Stagia. Poor thing. And that thing is pretty big too, so... And it looks small compared to the Ram. I actually like that Stagia, that looks so cool. I forgot how good that thing looks in yellow. RX-8, which needs an entire new engine. I mean, RX-8s are kind of demanding. But they aren't bad cars, I mean, they're pretty cool. It also depends on the spec of the car and the state. I suppose it's assumed that you won't find a clean one. I don't really know if there are ways to make the engines more, you know, better, more reliable. With aftermarket parts and the like. I will assume there is, but you can't cover everything. You'll just probably cover some major flaws and that's it, really. Purge of cones has begun. If you don't want to be purged, you should join as a member of the cone family. For YouTube memberships. You'll get a cone badge next to your name. Oh. Ah, well, for fine. For fine, the S4 is nowhere near me. So much for being an S-variant car and a V8. We're getting beaten by a car with less cylinders. I actually lost a car this way in my randomizer Nuzlocke. Which is a run you should watch if you haven't watched when this stream is over. It's on YouTube, it's on my channel. That run alone could have been a perfectly six-figure video, but nah, I am not that lucky. I don't have good luck. Phantom Rain Mini and there's a truck involved? I don't understand the obsession of this series to put a RAM always in the grid. This must make it a nightmare to actually get high A-spec points on this series, because the RAM completely tanks everything. No matter what you drive. Right, if you're the Khan family, it means that someday you'll run us over with a car? No, I will never run the people who help me out with a car. How do you think I will be so inconsiderate to all the people who support me? I know that some people might actually like that, but I'm not in the business of satisfying those interests. I'm in a different business. This is not a randomizer playthrough, this is a vanilla playthrough. There's nobody behind me. Yes, it unlocks the expert events. I mean, all the expert events outside the later one, which is kind of weird, and GT All-Stars, they're all S-license races, so you kind of need them. You kind of need it, so yeah, you should get it. I find it funny how the pit lane of Autumn Rain Mini, which I never taken, seems so wide. Look how far it goes from the edge of the track. That's insane. No price is probably a barrier, but have you ever considered getting a racing wheel setup? Well, I used to have a G29, but I didn't get along with it. So yeah, just that just never really worked out for videos, so it kind of sat there on my desk. But there might be something that I could do. It's a good question, actually. But I might have to wait a couple of days until everything is sorted. The Stratos is pretty wieldy, yeah, because it's really small, short wheelbase, bad grip modifiers, good old car bias on GT4. Yeah, but I can't get it for a few bucks, and I'm playing through an emulator, so it needs to work through a PC. I mean, yeah, and even I wouldn't play GT4 with a wheel because it's kind of a stupid game to play with a wheel. I mean, you don't really gain anything for it. If I play with a wheel, I'm gonna play different games. I don't really understand that train of thought which some people have. Is that it has wheel support, and then it must be you should use the wheel. Most games are not good with a wheel. I mean, there's very few games which is actually worth it to have the wheel. I mean, say, if you're gonna play, Assetto Corsa Competizione, then yeah, of course you should just play with a wheel. But if you're gonna play a 20-something-year-old game with a wheel, and kind of wasting your time, to be honest. It's as fun as it could be. Probably the only PS2 game where wheel is arguably better is probably Enthusiast. Honestly, I think I really want to get into online racing because it will give me an excuse to become a better driver. Yeah, but works with PCs and the same with works with PS2 emulator. They're different things. I mean, you're running different software. The PS2 emulator emulates the wheel support of a PS2, and even then, not every wheel works. I used the G29 with but it took me a bit of effort to actually make it work. It was great fun with a wheel. Agree to disagree. I don't think it's good. I think it's good if you haven't played something like Assetto Corsa. But if you play something like Assetto Corsa, you'll realize how awful GT4 feels. Little controller. Not really. I mean, BMG doesn't really satisfy me. I know it does well on YouTube, but I don't know what I could do with it, to be honest. Honestly, my problem is that I'm really more interested in things which are related to cars themselves. Honestly, I just want to start making a series of videos with car news, but I'm not too sure how well those are going to do. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, it's really important that you do. Especially if you're gonna leave, if you're gonna leave and don't leave a like, then YouTube's gonna punish me then. Yeah, I know BMG is excellent on physics, but doesn't really attract me. I don't know. Never seen anything which makes me go, oh, go, I want to do that with BMG. Just not that interested. Yeah, I have an idea regarding car markets and things like that, but need to do a bit more research, and right now I actually have a few things to manage on the plate, so I can't tackle both at the same time, sadly. Oh, the S4 is... in that little weave, the S4 there. Oh, there's an RS4 here. I don't see those every day. Kind of a shame because they're not that good on GT4. They're not bad, but they're certainly too heavy to actually stay out on track for long periods of time. And it's all-wheel drive, so tire wear is not the best. Honestly, at the same time, I mean, I'm kind of thinking of making a video out of this. Also, the control's working with delay, so I'll have to unplug it again. It seems... yeah, it's delayed. That input is really delayed. Kind of want to make this run to, you know, make a more optimized hardcore run of GT4, because I feel like a lot of these are just casual. I mean, they're not challenge runs, which are I will define as challenge runs, to be honest. They're just easily replicate, or you can replicate them easily, and you're not going to find much barriers, and neither require much driving skills either. Just want to do something a bit different, and I think this could be that run which actually helps the channel to stand out as a more racing inclined and more car focused channel where people, you know what they're talking about. Simple as that, really. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who actually like cars hiding there and they don't really feel represented in other groups. Yeah, nowhere to be seen. Good old beginner event AI being slower than usual. Yeah, making videos about explaining the car market could be a good... It's something that I really want to do. Especially because I see a lot of people who don't really understand it. mean, most of the big YouTube channels don't even understand economy, or understanding economy plays against their dogmatic beliefs, so they refuse to acknowledge the reality of it all. And thus it's easier to just blame something else than the thing which is actually causing the main problems. And they just complain about car prices when car prices are nothing but a consequence of all the issues around it. It's not the prime issue of it all. Thinking that it's a prime issue will probably mean that no solution is ever reached. Then again, it's not like the solution is easily reachable. It's just more of a matter, if you don't know what you have to tackle, then you'll never tackle it. It's like if someone doesn't know what they're eating, and they have weight problems, then yeah, they're going to be struggling with those weight problems constantly because they don't know what they have to eat in order to be healthy. If you don't know what the problem is, then you're never going to solve it. You'll just keep finding and creating boogeymans around the question itself. And sooner or later, you're going to run out of boogeymen to actually blame for the issues. And that's when things get interesting. Oh look, it's an Audi Quattro. The car which started it all. And then Audi ended up putting Haldex differentials rather than a proper all-wheel drive system on their cars. Which GT tried to copy, and then it resulted in a broken Audi TT. Oh. I brake a bit. We'll have to brake a bit later for that, it seems. Again, the controller's not reading my steering inputs, that's not good. I felt that, I tapped the stick and it didn't move. Completely noticed that. Talking about car markets, I'm starting to find they're not common, but oh, 999, that's a pretty good split. I sometimes encounter cars which are relatively good price for our market, and a few days ago I actually encountered a W202 C-Class. It was a C180, so it's the smallest engine. Okay, the control didn't read my input there, good. A C180, usually they're, the most basic trim, but this one was C180 Elegance, which means it had a couple of extra optionals and leather seats. For $5,000, usually those cars, you don't find those cars for $5,000 here. It was pretty clean, and it was a manual. That would have been nice if I could actually afford it. I can't. Someone else is gonna get it and probably give it a worse life than I would have given it. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to do something about this. The controller's not working well. I'll have to disconnect it and reconnect it again when the race is over. Inputs are working a bit in a weird way. Yeah, I mean, it depends on... What do you mean by do they know about them? It's C-Class, people just don't... Depending on the engine, I mean, sure, but if I found, I don't know, C200s for $10,000 of a similar time period, of course they never sold, but the asking price was there. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the controller real quick, it's on the back of the PC. I'm gonna leave you all with the Audi on Fuji for a second. Okay. Let's hope it doesn't do weird, annoying things again. I also think I encountered a relatively clean W124 for $7,000-ish. That one wasn't as clean as the C180, but still was pretty nice. I don't remember the engine though, I think it was still a small engine, sadly. Sure, we're going to buy a new car. Next car on the family is going to be this thing. Clio B6. And I was just thinking of whenever one car gets the complaints of being expensive, there's usually another right beside it that's comparably cheaper and invisible, so people jump on it. No, that doesn't happen here. I mean, it does, but not on these cars. I mean, people aren't really looking for the engine or anything when buying these cars. They're just concerned about what the car is. It could be a diesel, it could be the smallest engine. What matters is the model itself on those cars. Usually that rule applies for performance cars, really, when, let's say, I don't know, E30 M3s are popular. So, but because E30 M3s are expensive, we'll just start buying 323s or something like that. 325s, although I think the 325 was the thing. And the E30, and it was an inline 6 rather than an inline 4, but whatever. You get the point. In this case, it's not. I mean, the thing that matters is that one is a Mercedes-Benz, B, it's a Mercedes-Benz. That's what people care. So usually and of course the people who sell them, they're just like, oh, this is a Mercedes-Benz, and a new car, which is theoretically much worse, it costs this, so I'm going to place my car to compete against the new car, when in reality it doesn't compete against the new car. The person who wants an NPC new car, they don't want a 30-year-old Mercedes with all sorts of issues. So it's just a different type of assumption and mistake that people usually make when valuing those cars, really. Now, this is gonna be a pretty easy race, to be fair. Oh, green Santi on the lead. Oof. I approve. I approve. The Aventine being a traffic, behaving like traffic, blocking me. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, seriously, we'll appreciate it if you did, so we can get this channel to more people. Around 5. I swear, most of the cars in this grid are just traffic spawns. A C5. C5 is totally a traffic spawn. I wouldn't say an Aventine is a traffic spawn, but C5 you still see sometimes, occasionally, a C5 on the road here. And especially in those colors, my god. What they were thinking. You're thinking in French, probably. No, that's unbelievable. They added all these boring cars to when they could have looked for better cars on from those manufacturers, which they exist. They just didn't bother. You just gave them 3-4 cars, and sure, good enough. We're gonna cover with Japanese cars anyway. That's probably one of my main issues with GT4. Whenever I notice it, I just cannot stop noticing it, really. I'll give it a few years, and these things will start being imported into America. These things have a cult around the entire world, so yeah. Clio V6s are pretty expensive as far as I know. No, the Clio is not front-wheel drive. The Clio is front-wheel drive, not rear-wheel drive. And this is a mid-engine car, so this is a Clio V6, and it's the only one which is rear-wheel drive because it has the engine on the back, well, in the center. But a regular Clio will always be front-wheel drive. Uh-oh. Good old short wheelbase coming to bite me. Under braking. Yeah, for this it's kind of overpowered really, but you know, might as well. I don't really know which is good. I mean, you could probably go for a Clio Sport 2 liters, the front-wheel drive one, for a more balanced race. Now that I think about it, but I as well just get the V6 really. I think this car just looks so good. I can't be the only one who thinks this car is just ridiculously good looking. And GT4 kind of has bad colors for them. They were producing much better colors. By example, you could find them in yellow. They're really rare, but they exist, I think. So, yeah. The V6 is probably one of the best looking cars that Renault has ever made. I just don't remember how many they were between Phase 1 and Phase 2 cars. So beautiful that I am actually managing to tolerate the camera option, using the rear view camera. Well, 106 finally got through the pack, but he's still ridiculously far behind. I mean, to be honest, we don't have to win every single race in this tournament. We could skip races because this is gonna be destruction of the entire grid. So we can probably skip a couple of races and call it a day on this tournament. If we all want that, I mean, it's not that we're starving for cash. We can probably afford the cars that I need right now, and if I don't, there's always Capri Rally. 1 or 2 should be enough, because you don't really need that many expensive cars in the run. There's probably 1 or 2 cars which probably break the bank. But outside that, you can probably get by with relatively stock cars, which is another good point of this route. You don't need that much money. Oh, lemon. Here is one lap. A Santia and Avantime, a C5. Those cars don't seem like lemon contenders. Okay. Wow, if you really want to help me out, you could share the stream around, copy the link and send it on different Discord groups or different websites. It's always helpful to bring my channel to new audiences. That's an accident. Oh, it's fine. Or 6 trolley. Those things are right on the 106 trolley, but it's not going to be fast in a straight line. It's gonna get demolished here, I think. Then again, the other cars are so far that it's probably settled already. They won't overtake him. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually holds second place, really. Alright, this thing's a 6-speed, I forgot. It's really slidey though, I'll give you that much. Surely likes to go sideways. I missed the shift. Yeah, I don't think anyone's overtaking that 106. Doesn't seem like it. I'm using kilometers per hour. I mean... I don't know, but a clear going 200 miles per hour will seem kind of extreme, don't you think? Just a random question. Does kind of stall after a certain point. It seems it probably has high drag. And oh. The Renault 5 also went wide there for some reason. Guess it's a family problem. Oh. This car had a bit of a reputation for having bad handling in real life, actually. And Renault had actually to adjust the suspension for later Phase 2 cars to make them more stable. And while that solved some of the problems, it did sacrifice some of the car's handling in the process. So a lot of people actually prefer the more unwieldy Phase 1 cars, as far as I know. Because while Phase 2 cars are more stable, they aren't as responsive. This is a Phase 2 car in GT4. The thing is, it's not that the test is too dark, it's more so the fact that it's really small too. So it's kind of hard to read. Especially stage 5. It's always a good day when you get to racing here. Renault 6 is still collecting the most points. But the thing is, I don't think it starts on first place. So if I enter and quit a race, the points aren't going to go to the 106, they're going to go to someone else. Which is useful to me because it means I can actually skip races in this tournament. I mean, unless you all want me to do them all. I could do them all, but... I'll leave that door open for you all. Yeah, Renault 5 is gonna be the second car in here, it seems. Renault 1-2 then. How long has it been since Renault scored a 1-2 in something? It's probably been a few decades, hasn't it? Love hearing your voice for content. Well, thank you. I don't really think I have a good voice for this, though. In fact, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I think my voice is one of the reasons why my channel struggles so much to actually take off properly. There's other people who are much more pleasant to listen to, and I'm not really, so it's always something living rent-free in my head. But I appreciate that. Yeah, this shall be completely free. What do you mean, what happened there? Also, yeah, I mean, at first I really didn't know how to say certain things on the microphone on talk, so it was kind of a matter of testing my voice and practicing, really, until I actually managed to sound more natural. So yeah, it's kind of hard to listen to my old videos, personally. Oh, good spin. Oh. Okay. 3 laps at Grand Valley. Maybe a 6-minute race. Like an Argentinian Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I had a problem, which is the main problem that I had at first was the fact that I struggled to pronunciate things, and I still do without raising my voice. Certain pronunciations are really hard if I don't raise my voice, and now I have the opposite problem, in which the microphone sometimes doesn't pick them up when I'm re-listening to my voice when I'm recording a script, right? And in a way, the reason why I used to force my voice more is because of, well, it was a way to actually clear those pronunciations, really. That's a problem that I encounter, really, when I speak. More so the fact that of the way that I learned to speak English, I guess. That is just the way my accent works, in which it just starts to drop at the end of each sentence or something, and it's sometimes hard to pick up for certain words when I'm speaking. Just like going to the left, or kind of. Then I realized that it's the full circuit, and I shouldn't be going through there. I should go straight. But most people aren't going to notice that, unless I mention it, because you mentioned it. So now that's, we all have a problem here. Because now I don't have an excuse. Because you all blew my cover. That's on me. That's completely on me. What did I miss? The Clio B6 is completely demolishing the French Championship. And we have 2 races to complete it left still. Gran Bali was friend. Nah, Gran Bali's I mean, I don't think anyone dislikes Gran Bali. I don't think anyone dislikes Gran Bali. And if they do, they're not someone you should listen to be honest. They should go and play, I don't know. I was going to say something, but I'm not gonna say it. As usual. But yeah, no, Gran Bali's Pro, and it's not just to be one of those GT4 diehards, it's just a good circuit, period, no matter how you look at it. It has a slow section, it has fast sections. Pulling a full lap is really challenging when you have to put all the sections together without making mistakes. It's a good circuit all around. The only problem is that I'm not the biggest. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the reverse layout, but it also works as well. It's not. It doesn't flow as the normal one exactly, but it's alright. Dare I say, Gran Bali is probably one of the best fictional circuits, or the best fictional circuit in a racing game. It has to be up there. As a real functional circuit, it's probably one of the most reasonable ones. Sure, I mean, there are other circuits which are probably better for action, for whatever, but they're probably a bit more fantasy-like. Gran Bali isn't. I could totally see something like this existing. It's just a matter of where's the land to actually do it. I never played GT7, I don't really know. PS5 is $1,000 in here, and I don't really count with that sort of funding to actually buy a PS5 and play GT7, so I have no clue. At the same time, the niche of bashing GT7 on YouTube for views is kinda overdone already, so I'm not able to jump onto that train if I ever manage to get the PS5. Buenas tardes. Hope you're doing well, Martin. Yeah, because the cars were too expensive and events were too grindy. That's still a complaint, I think. It's just the fact that people have found out ways to grind. As time goes on, people just discover grinding methods. It's always the case. Honestly, I have better things to do than complain about a game that I can't play, so you ain't gonna see that here. Oh, Monaco. Oh. Skip it? Yeah, actually could do that. Never mind. Championship is mine. I'm used to always having to win every single race because I actually play this game on interesting mode rather than easy mode. Ah, perfect. Yes. Trashing with wheels. How much are they going to give me for that? Probably not much. I have no problems with French cars. I do have problems with some of the way they do things, but that's beyond. Get out of here. I'm absolutely selling you for 4K, believe me. I could keep using this thing. I could keep using this thing for Hot Hatch League. Or we could go and buy something else and come back for these races later. Perhaps I would like to just get this out of the way. Put that over here. Yeah, I mean, a pristine 2CV from the 50s is gonna cost much more. Absolutely. Ain't gonna be a 4K car. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, I would really appreciate it if you did, so we can get this channel to more people. $38 spec points. Hello then, FSK, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Honestly, I wouldn't buy a 2CV no matter how much you ask for me, no matter how cheap it is. I don't really find the appeal on those agricultural commuter cars. In fact, I probably think they're one of the worst aspects of cars, really. People who like that, I mean, fair enough, I guess, but for me, they're not something to look after. Sure, I understand looking after them as a historical piece, but outside that, it's just... No, I don't think it's something which should be worshipped. God, no. I find a lot of people just try so hard to say, oh no, Ferrari, Porsche, those things are bad. You should like Soviet cars and Fiat 500s and all these commuters which were created by state mandates. That's what you should like. That's what cool cars are. No, that's... No, please don't. Don't be that person. Yeah, I mean, sure, you know, they're pretty reliable. No, we do more than GT4 in here. It's just the fact that GT4 seems to do pretty well with YouTube, so welcome, hope you're doing well, and enjoy your stay. Usually if we're not talking about the real cars, we're usually talking about tax fraud, so take your pick. Hey Seth, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Do you know there's no head gasket in the 2CV motor? I mean, here's the thing, I mean, sure there's no head gasket, but human beings also don't have head gaskets and they can go much faster and further than a 2CV. It's not exactly fair. It's not exactly positive. Hey TGG, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. ARS. That's something funny because ARS stands for Argentinian peso, but at first when I looked it up, because I was curious why it was ARS, and as funny as it may seem, because there's a... because for us it doesn't feel like it. Turns out like we had the same currency since the 90s, and in the early 90s Argentina had a weird, well, not weird, it was relatively grounded. They just made a monetary rule in which they tied the value of the peso to the dollar, and the ARS comes out of that. So it's a denomination of the peso which took around, because in reality we didn't change the currency, despite the fact that we actually destroyed it on over those 30 years, because in the 90s it used to be 1 Argentinian peso equals $1, and now it's around 1,400 pesos equals $1 US. So yeah, we have destroyed the currency in 30 years. Which is why we cannot have currencies in this country. Hey Seth, welcome to the Count family. I really appreciate that you have joined us. Thanks so much. Assault rifle as currency. I mean, that wouldn't be such a bad currency. For one, it's something you always need. So, you can do much worse than assault rifles for currencies. And man, YouTube isn't going to like that. As if I need more problems with YouTube. Family. See, sometimes I try to say things too fast and screw things over. Yes, but actually no. No, I mean, you drink whenever you can. Uh-oh, traffic jam. These things totally look like an early 2000s traffic jam in Europe, though. Mark 4 Golf, Mark 5 Golf, Audi A3. Ford Focus, yeah, completely. Sure, tying it to American car. I mean, could be worst. Could be worst. Argentina has a record of completely destroying every single currency that it has ever gotten its hands on. We are probably... we're probably the only country which has done that in history. Every single time that Argentina had control of its currency, it destroyed it to monetary emission. Like, we just printed so much money that we had 2 hyperinflations without a war. So, yeah, tying our currency to something else isn't something which seems so absurd. Because while, yes, probably you might have someone in the short term which might do things a bit better, in the long term we have proven that we cannot be trusted. Because there is always going to be someone who approaches and says, oh, yeah, I want to win this election. Let's print money. Sure, let's go. And then, yeah, we have what we have right now. We're still paying, because last year we had an election year, and in order to win, the previous party did that, and the country was completely battered, of course, because we've never been doing good ever since I have memory. And yeah, that created an inflationary spike, which is, we almost head into another hyperinflation, by the way, just barely managed to dodge that bullet, which is insane. At least I can use my brakes. Like someone else who's actually streaming this game. No, Argentina isn't trying to rival anyone. I mean, we have bigger problems at home, to be honest. And our law, I mean... What are the things required to buy a house on Argentinian soil? I mean, really, the funds. That's all you probably need, to be honest. I don't really know the legal inners about buying homes. It's not something I'm that well versed, but there's probably a lot of legal paperwork. Our country's a bureaucratic hellhole in the sense that there's an absolute shit ton of regulations and bureaucracy involved in everything. Everything. By example, do you know how in the UK cars, in order to be registered for the road, they have to clear the MOTs, right? And those are usually carried away by shops, by mechanical shops. I mean, people who repair your car can actually do the MOT certificates. Well, in Argentina, the MOT is called BTB, and the BTB is carried out not by a workshop, but by the state itself. So what happens is, you have this curious situation of, you have a pristine car which only has, say, I don't know, a light bulb which is just too shiny. And the guy, the clerk, the bureaucrat will tell you, oh, no, you can't have that because this light bulb is just too bright and it's not the OEM light bulb. Which you can find the OEM light bulb because it's probably an import, and if you can find it, it probably costs 10 times more, and if you can't find it, well, you have to use the replacement that's available in the country, but the government doesn't like that, so they actually don't want to give you the certificate to go around, right? So, what do you have to do? You have to pay the guy, so you actually get the certificate, and that's how you see cars which shouldn't be on the road actually on the road. I'm talking rust buckets without brakes actually roaming around and being used still on the daily. And they're certified, sure, but you have one something little thing which isn't according to the manual. Ah, no, you can drive that. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So yeah, everything is like that here. Everything's just bureaucracy. And so I assume buying a home is lots of bureaucracy and lots of costs involving that bureaucracy because it is expensive. Everyone wants to get money out of you. That's something which you learn real quick here. My mind can't compute the brake usage right now. I'm sorry, TGT, but to be honest, watching you drive, I mean, you're completely a better driver than I am. I cannot do the things you were doing today, so impressive. I look forward to seeing that run completed. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of problems here. And to be honest, they will take decades to solve, if even that. Some of them are so ingrained into our brain that I don't think I'll ever see solved, really. Nostalgic Gran Turismo streamer, how? Oh no. No, 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 no. I'm fine as is. I'm fine as is. I'm fine in my place in the world. Maybe when I start learning more, I can actually take trips to some corners of the world, I start meeting people, but that's about it. At the same time, like, which streamer house experiment all ended well? None of them. They all end up in complete disaster. Okay, sure. I thought the car was going to slide out on me. I'm always curious about those focus RS. I don't know, it's just a car which I never really used outside that license test. Honestly, for me, for me, challenges are just a means of testing things which I usually wouldn't do. Either by having to be a better driver, either by doing routing in a GT game. I never thought about routing for my cars in a GT game, so this is why I find it interesting. I always like doing things which, one, have a focus on these things, because, you know, it's a racing game. If you're playing a racing game, you might as well give a damn about cars, you know. And second, I just like doing things which require you to use everything you know, rather than just boiling it to a casual playthrough with extra steps. That's kind of my problem. I mean, the whole casual playthrough with extra steps just doesn't attract me. And that's why I don't usually do things which other people do, because I find they are too simple. Sure, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot there and losing channel traffic, but I don't know, it's not my style. My style is just doing other things. Hey, Kanisu, Hardbass, thank you so much for your membership to the Con family for a month already. Anyone who calls GT4 overrated don't have a brain. I mean, yeah, people are entitled to their opinions, but, you know, those opinions can be wrong. Thank you so much for joining as a member again. As always, the support of all of you means that I can actually continue to do this, because this is what I do for a living, so everything helps. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. Usually I don't really like to be, how to say, it's not that I'm not true to myself, I'm sometimes too measured. There's things I want to do, things I want to say, but I don't really want to step on those landmines, because one, I don't feel it is my place at times, and second, people really care. I mean, for the most part, they kind of know what I'm aiming for. And I know that my advantage lies in the fact that I just know a lot about cars. I mean, it's the only thing I did my entire life. Entire thing I worked with my entire life, and I know other people don't have the same interest that I do. So that's something I can always use to stand out. I mean, you can probably complete GT without license prices. I don't think GT4, because license prices on GT4 are kind of weird. By example, there's no race cars, if I recall. So, and I'm not saying there's not even a JGTC car, so yeah, they're kind of weird in that sense. But say GT3, you can completely complete GT3 with licensed cars, if I recall. Or probably get really close to completion. If you can't complete it, you can get there. You can touch it with your fingertips. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my stance at times, to be yourself. Like, just not kind of... That's kind of my stance. I mean, you lose more by not saying what's on your brain than actually saying it. Like, by example, today I was having an argument with my family. It's like... They were taking this stance of like, everything is subjective. I'm like, no, not everything is subjective. And there's a lot of things which we actually know how they work, and subjectivity isn't a part of those things. And denying that is just wrong. You'll never be right if you deny that to me. But because, of course, if you take the logic that everything is subjective, then no one is right, and you can say absolutely everything is an opinion. But not everything is an opinion. A lot of things are just things which we know how they are, and they go past that. Hey Rafi, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Yeah, GT2 license prices are excellent compared to GT4s. GT2 license prices, you can kind of complete the entire game, but the problem is you'll meet horsepower restrictions. And that kind of blocks you from completing some events, especially the drivetrain event, and there's nothing to do the K-car events and some national events, because I actually tried that when I did the GT2 single car run. In order to complete GT2, you need a car which has 197 horsepower, so you can complete the first tier of national events. And the slowest, well, the least powerful price car in the GT2 licenses is the Dodge concept car, which has 216. So you can't, sadly. None of the licensed cars can complete the entire National League, therefore you cannot play the GT World League, which means you cannot get the credits to roll, which means you cannot complete the game. Marshall, walk on a stage. Hey, that's excellent. Hope we had fun. Kind of pushed the R5, but it was an accident. I didn't notice. It wasn't going to change anything. I mean, just look at this. Hey, Mess. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. The Kusabi is way better. The Lupo, I mean, I have proven that you can beat Sunday Cup with the Lupo, meaning that you can actually start a no Japanese cars playthrough with a Lupo. Just saying. And yeah, I mean, it's not good. Let's be honest, it's not good. It will be better if you could actually beat Schwarzwald League A with a Lupo. Kind of can't, it's really hard. 200-point A-spec race, if I remember. I mean, you can probably beat Trial Mountain, but you sure as hell can't beat Opera Paris and the other one, Autumn Rain. At least from my experiences. Maybe I'm just not good enough, which is possible. But at the same time, if you have to sink 200k credits to actually beat those 3 races with a Lupo, then it's not gonna work. You can find better options. Especially at the start of each playthrough. But yeah, technically the Kusabi, which is Silver B licenses, is just perfect. Honestly, I've been thinking about routing a non-Japanese cars playthrough properly for GT4. Maybe if the next video with this run does well, maybe we do that, who knows. I just start my 8-year-old sci-fi will a loop. Oh god, that's why you shouldn't look at your chat screen. Uh-oh. I have to do it in reverse. Good thing I'm 20 seconds ahead, well 18, but yeah, you get the point. I think when I started my very first GT4 sci-fi, I actually used the Pontiac. That's not a good car, to be honest. Not a good car. And it surely felt that way when I started playing. Me and the Pontiac weren't good friends. Yeah, that's fine. Nice, little boy. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, the Evo 1 is it's not bad. It's not bad, but my experience, it wasn't the best option you could get for a starter. Yeah, Solstice is really good, but the problem with the Solstice, I think it's its gearing. Yeah, it's an S license car. It's just so stupid. It's clearly an early game card. It's clearly on the early tier of performance. Honestly, I'm so far ahead that I could actually skip this. Yeah, non-Japanese isn't tough. Yeah, I agree. It's really easy. But I would like to just have the perfect route and just put it on YouTube and say, this is how we optimize this. This is how you do this. Kind of have that train of thought lately. This is probably one of the most stupid price cars in the entire game. At least it's yellow. At least it's yellow. Finally, I get one of these in a good color. Random topic. A few days ago, I found a Volvo, one of these things. I don't remember the code. For sale. It was an embassy car. And it was certified as such. It had the little sticker which Volvo embassy cars used to get. It was really cool, but it was over $7,000. I don't have over $7,000 to buy a Volvo. What makes you think I have that? I need more cars for this. Ah, yeah, I'm actually going to do a MR challenge. So I can actually consider Beginner events completed. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, it's really important that you do, so YouTube starts recommending whatever I do to more people, and this channel keeps on growing. Doesn't take more than a second. I'm sure all of you want to help out. Oh, it's an Ace Algaraya. Someone on my server was doing JGTC championship runs with an Ace Algaraya. I mean, they're not bad cars. I don't think they're bad cars, to be honest, to be honest. Depends on me. If you're expecting them to be, you know, a track car, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. But for a commuter, I mean, they're alright. Maybe a little bit agricultural in some aspects, I don't know. Depends on the person on the train, because some trains are much more well equipped than others. Yeah, no, it's an old engine and it's not gonna be fuel efficient. The engines are not much. The engines are just kind of really Volvo engines for the most part. They did have some good engines, but they weren't equipped on those cars. You won't find a Volvo 240 T5 unless it was engine swapped by someone. Alright, P800. The P800 is so cool. Beautiful car. Absolutely beautiful car. Oh, yeah, it's going to understeer if I do that, obviously. Mid-engine car. Truth be told, I'm not even trying. These races are just relatively easy. I have to try too hard. It's not like that MR2, which actually drove me insane last stream. No, it doesn't look like a Volvo. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the car with the most documented mileage, but I know of a P800 which has an insane amount of miles. I said P800 when it's P1800. Perfect, I misnamed the car twice. Dream car with the Garaya. I mean, if you manage to beat the JGTC cars, Dream Car Championship should be more than possible. Depends on the... I mean, some tracks you're gonna lose out on top speed because there's test scores and Lessard to manage, so those are going to be tricky. No, but he just completed JGTC tournament, not GT World. They're kind of even on performance, JGTC and Dream Car. The problem with Dream Car is that grids are much harder to measure because they're really uneven. You can have the GT concept, the Skyline GT concept, which is brutally overpowered compared to other cars, and then you can have, I don't know, the RSC rally car, which has nothing to do in there, and it's always a back marker. So that's what makes it really hard to manage. That wasn't really clever. I was clearly going too fast for that corner, but I don't lose anything for trying, really. It's not like I'll end up in a car barbecue if I crash. Yeah, I'd rather have to qualify for some races. Curiosity, one question, how's the situation with mileage rollbacks there? Ah, they happen. Yeah, they happen. It's common. I actually did that on the Opera S2000, it's on the channel. That video did surprisingly well, it got like 20k views in 2 days. Those glory days are gone, the channel doesn't get that traffic anymore. I'm not sure if any car, but here they happen. The cases exist. So you just have to be careful because, I mean, here's something which I guess it's gonna take me in a small tangent, but you know, might as well. This is my stream. So the thing is, when everything is as battered as this country of mine is, people start losing restraints and they start to do things which are morally questionable. So if something is morally questionable, you can 100% expect that someone will engage in it here. Say things like, you know, just rolling back mileage. Yeah, dishonest, absolutely, but you know, it's dishonest, and they will say, yeah, you know, it's a clean car, it was well kept. What's the point? There's no damage in rolling 50,000 kilometers back. The car is in pristine condition, it's good. Yeah, so they'll just justify it with something like that and then just sell the car like that, just roll back. Morally justified by that train of thought. Of course, since there's no consequences either, people constantly engage in that sort of thing. It's an example, really, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's just a matter of... One of the classic things that dealers do is just saying, well, this car was owned by an old guy, he's only used it on the weekends, only on the highways. And in reality, the car has lived in the city, has 300k kilometers, and it's well going to fall apart in the next 6 months. But You're going to pay it as a good unit, that's for sure. 850k to 160k, that's insane. How you hide that? That is impossible to hide. Oh yeah, I mean, totaled cars here are kind of funny because the thing is, you see cars which should have been totaled, not totaled and rolling around in the street. That's the thing. Of course, people can't pay for the repairs, the insurance is the insurance company, they're never going to lose out, so good luck. So you see cars which are completely shot at times, rolling around, and then those cars get repaired, and you still see them around. So yeah, if a car is totaled here, my train of thought makes me think that it has to be a really bad case of the car is just impossible to repair. Oh yeah, well, when the deal is too good to be true, then you know something's wrong. At the same time, I mean, it's kind of unfair to say this, but it's the reality. If you just... A car is usually the second most expensive thing a human being will buy in their life. First one being a home. If you just buy a car like you're buying a kitchen, you kind of deserve whatever's coming to you. I mean, say a car has been crashed, it's borderline impossible to make sure the paint matches with the original paint. So if you kind of have this thought process, if you start looking at a car and say the paint on the fenders, the hood doesn't quite align, it can be a really small subtle difference, but that's enough to make you say, yeah, no, out. But people don't think about those things because they just think they're buying, oh, we're buying a car, sure. They just treat it like they're buying something, a pair of clothes, something which is easily replaceable. And it's not the case, you cannot treat it like that. So I know it is unfair for me to say, well, deserved, but at times it's kind of deserved, because you cannot step into something so expensive without doing a little bit of asking around first. There's a healthy degree of paranoia to be had, and I guess that's because of where I come from and the fact that everyone wants to screw you over. But that inbuilt degree of paranoia whenever I do something makes me look into it to understand what I'm getting into, just so I don't make a mistake which will cost me money down the line. Post about the Mercedes from the 90s, don't remember which one. No, I really like those. You'll have to find it for me. Was rolled back from 850k kilometers to 210k. Ouch. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sure, I mean, I'm not saying you aren't allowed. I mean, you can. But actions have their consequences. And no, I mean, consequences don't have to be enforced by someone. You just need to realize that, yes, whatever you're getting into, yeah, you're kind of getting into trouble. It's common sense, which is something which is sorely lacking in this world, but, you know, that's kind of why things are the way they are. And why people believe everything is subjective. Yeah, leasing is another thing. I mean, you can't lease a used car, but you can. Yeah, you'll get once you start getting involved into leasing. Oh no, I'm just not the biggest fan of the concept of leasing, because the car is not yours. You're just borrowing it, and that creates a mentality in which, whenever something isn't yours and you aren't aware of the cost. I'm not saying you, the viewer, you probably know better if you're in this channel, but a lot of people will say, oh, well, it's not mine, so I'm just not going to change the oil, not going to do this, not going to do that. So those cars suffer atrocious lives, really. Because why? The people who are leasing them aren't that invested in them. Sure, leasing costs money, but it doesn't cost the same as buying a car. So they just don't treat it right. They just don't care. And you know when you care? When you run your own risks. That's an excellent way to make you care about things. Probably the best way to make you care about things. Yeah, that's kind of the common thought process, and so I just want something new because it won't break down. Yeah, it's relatively simple. It's the NPC thought process of car buying. Usually people just want something which is fresh out of the factory and won't have issues. No way. No way, no. Hey, I actually won that race. By the way, you know which part of my Discord server isn't as used? The clips channel. All of you don't take clips of my streams. You should take clips of my streams and share them around so people actually come here and find themselves mind blown by my absolutely ungodly blocking skills. Oh well, Capitan. Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what I think. I mean, you're just gonna put like $30,000 in a car and you just buy a car which has engine failures left and right. You know, sometimes my thought process for all of those things is kind of unfair, you know, but it's kind of like Darwinism in a way. It's like things are meant to be this way. It's like people are meant to make those mistakes and just fall off the earth. I'm not sure if it's me, because I never been able to have that much money in my life, but if you're just going to buy a $30,000, $40,000 car, the least you could do is just look up what you're getting into. At the very least. That's just basic. Yeah, no, some cars are just a nightmare to maintain. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, you need to know what you're getting into. Say, I mean, if you're getting into, say, extreme case, a Porsche 928, with its fame for electrical issues, you're still getting into a Porsche 928, you know, it's not your average commuter car. You cannot treat it with the same mentality. The same as, say, buying an RX-7. Yeah, an RX-7 is going to be a nightmare to maintain, but you have an RX-7. It comes with the car. Some cars are the rule of it being easy to maintain. Yes, I get that, and that's true. But at the same time, if you just want something which is a bit more stand out, yes, you have to make that compromise. But it's a valid compromise. Just don't complain that it breaks all the time and say that they are unreliable. Told you so. They have problems. Just look after them. I mean, cars have been a status symbol since for almost a century, really, and there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I think that punishing that mentality will actually create really bad cars. Because if we will all be on Ford Cs if it wasn't for for a desire to actually have better cars, which are just luxury symbol. The problem is the fact that you have people meddling who don't really understand how cars work, and they're just doing things to incentivize whatever political goals they have. It's always the same. I mean, my one problem with the automotive industry is the fact that it has become completely ruled by regulation, rather than the people who actually make the cars, and the customers deciding. And now that has reached a, well, like everything, has reached a totalitarian degree of influence and pressure. To the point where I'm not saying car companies are innocent, because they're totally in it, otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation, because they kind of benefit from it. If the costs of developing cars are kept artificially high, then that means less competition. And less competition is easier to manage, because if I only have 3 car brands in my country and we all kind of know each other, we all kind of know what we're going to do down the line. So you create this situation where you're kind of screwed. I mean, there's not that much innovation, really. Because, well, there's not that much competition, really. You're like... I guess my thought process is that. Sure, you cannot destroy everything and start from scratch. I mean, that will be stupid, but you can just ease off a little bit, in the sense that you could, I won't, the word isn't self-regulate, but give more power to the actual customers, because the customers don't really have power. The customers are, no matter what they do, the customers are still going to get screwed over if their cars are deemed unroadworthy by a decree in 5 years. The SUVs didn't ruin everything. The SUVs are just another trend. What you have is the fact that safety regulations have become so draconian that the only thing you could build is SUVs, really. Because if I want to overbuild a small hatchback and charge $20-something thousand for it, then that's just not feasible. I need to target a higher customer, a customer with more income, to actually sell the cars that I want. And meet all the safety regulations that I actually have to meet. Very important. Okay. Beginner events are completed. So I think we could actually buy another piece of our puzzle. Yeah, sure. Chrysler Dodge. Okay, this thing has a lot of colors. Yeah, I mean, and so I get that. I mean, but there's also compromise. I mean, the safety technology has improved a lot, but it's not because people were held at gunpoint that they improved. It improved naturally over the course of the years. I mean, when you think about it, sure, cars in the 1960s were a disaster, but you had the Rover 2000, which already had crumple zones in the 1960s. Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever went and said, oh, you have to make a car with crumple zones or you cannot sell it. That came naturally. And that's my point. Those things are going to come naturally. But the consequence of making them, of pushing them by regulation is the fact that you create this situation where everyone has to raise their costs to actually meet the regulations, because the cars are impossible to sell otherwise. There's so many colors in this car, I don't know what to choose. I mean, I could go with this. I could go with this, which is the classic. This is classic for Chrysler Mopar 60s too, yes. till I'm crazy. This is a 69 charge? 67, I think. Hemi oranges also stand out. No, it's not 1970. Honestly, I think this has to be it. Yeah, it has to be it. Oh, no, it's a 1970, never mind. Yeah, it's a 1970. I got confused. Yeah, 71 is a completely different body. And 71, there is a 71 charger available, but it doesn't work for this challenge because we need a 70 score. It has to be dead on 1970. I mean, I could do this with the car stock to keep it traditional, I guess. To keep it, I mean, balanced. I do hope this works. With the Buick Special on the lead, I'm not too optimistic. I'll admit, 427 too, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. 180 top speed. Yeah, no, this is not gonna work. That gearing. Holy. Buick and Cobra on the lead. Yeah, of course, I get the two fastest cars available in this tournament. That sounds like a pretty good thing to know. And 4-speed, those gear ratios are atrocious. Might as well just buy everything now. Yeah, I know, no, yes, I know. It's a gearbox, yes. No more power, but less weight and modern drivetrain. That will be a pretty interesting concept to work with. There are different gear options available for these cars, really. Oh yeah, by the way, did I tell you that I have a massive cut on my right thumb? Or I didn't say that on the stream? So yesterday my mother wanted me to open a wine bottle because it had like a weird... It had like a weird cap, you know, usually wine bottles have a cork that you just remove. Simple, off you go. But this one didn't. And I assume something was like a little bit, you know, the little thing which recovers the top of the bottle. I assume that usually that's paper. In this case, that was metal. And I grabbed it, and I didn't realize, and it just sliced my thumb completely. And just I have a pretty deep cut on my thumb right now. It's fine. I mean, it's not gonna die, but that was really annoying. I'll just edit the gear ratios later. Nah, it's fine. It doesn't hurt. Oh? Not touching anything. Controller went crazy, by the way. What the hell? You can always learn something new, it seems. Oh yeah, suspension. I'm having a bit of an issue with my USBs, it seems. Because I had to put something new on my computer, and I don't think it's... I think it's actually... It's actually confusing my computer, so it's... But I need to have it there. I unplugged that USB, but still, it's probably annoying things. Okay, attempt number 2. How well will the resto mod charger will do? Ah, now there's no... Damn it. No big special. Interesting. Really interesting. Easy, we're driving a tank here. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, I would really appreciate it if you did. At least do it for the purple charger. Classic Superbird. I might be super, but you're not me. Now it's time to chase the 427. I think I have more top speed on the 427. And a bit of handling too. I find it funny because I just never have a chance to use the 427 in this game. I will love to, but the fact it doesn't get a wing really handicaps it. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much ideal. Superbird's Yellowbird's long distance, you American cousin. I mean, thanks to this channel, I know people all over the world. I mean, it's not that I didn't know people from all over the world before, but now it's even bigger. You can totally tell the wind drag is really high on this thing. I'll be damned, that thing is faster than I am. Impressive. Then again, my first lap was kind of bad. Maybe we have to try that again. I don't know how the top speed of the Cobra. Cougar for American Championship, it wasn't fun. What do you mean, the American GT Championship with the Cougar? That actually sounds fun. You might have to hold that thought for a little bit. Uh-oh. Full spin to place the car. Much faster this time. I'm already overtaking the Superbird. No. Well, a bit of understeer is to be expected. You want the American GT Championship? You might want to hold that thought. No. Ow. Honestly, the color is just beautiful. Look at it. I have to be careful, that thing is pretty close to me. I should have done a bit better on those corners, because I'm actually better at cornering than he is. But I didn't. Hey, no, 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 no! Ow! Damn, that's on me. That's 100% on me. I can't blame I can't blame anyone but myself for that. Good, overtaking the Superbird as well. I just found my pace around here, that's good. Honestly, I don't really think using the ASM is... It's usually more of a handicap than a help. Traction control at 1 will usually help you to keep everything in check. From my experience. I don't remember, the Cougar doesn't get a wing, right? Oh yeah, that's why you were so screwed, because the Cougar doesn't get a wing. Yeah, never mind. For a second I assumed that it got a wing, but now I don't think so, right? So that's why you were struggling so much. Now it all makes sense. The roll cage breaks cars. It actually changes the you know when you refresh their body rigidity. Well, the roll cage reduces rigidity like the car is worn in. So you should never get the roll cage under any circumstances. The LSD fully customizable is always better because you can adjust the range, and 1.5 is just a set range of acceleration and deceleration. So yeah, it's not the best advice in that situation, to be honest. LSD settings are usually more of a preference thing. So if you're having a really, expensive build, I mean, if you're not early game, you can just buy the fully customizable and play with the values until you're happy. Just a matter of knowing what they do and what you do while driving, so you can actually set them up your way. It's not something which... It's something which will make you more consistent rather than faster, I will say. Because the car behaves as you will want it to or expect it to, rather than how it wants. No, yeah, they have so much torque that wheel spin will constantly be a problem, but you can manage wheel spin with gearing, and in the most extreme cases you can just manage it with gearing and traction control at 1. Since they have so much torque, you can afford to run the longest gears possible, really, in a lot of cases, and your top speed through the circle will probably be the same. Yeah, but at the same time, even if that's what you prefer, recommending the roll cage to someone is a really bad idea, because the roll cage in GT4 is broken, so under any circumstances you should never recommend it. Hehe. Have the perfect line to go and not knock out the cones. And you have to be sorry, but just sharing a bit of advice. Getting a traction which was gonna fix the problem. Yeah. Because again, the Cougar doesn't have a wing, right? So the handling of it is going to be atrocious against those faster cars. There's no downforce. So you're just driving a brick with 700 horsepower. Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, it's also another problem with these cars. You can't really use mediums because they have really high tire wear. So you're usually always forced to run hards. You might say, oh, but the races are short. They aren't that short for those cars. They're just too heavy and the tire wear is too high. So you kind of have to go with with hard tires and lose out on time and handling, to be honest. Getting used to this thing. Hee. Didn't get that many of them, but at least I got one. Even if I'm gonna crash into a wall. You can. Those guns are hard, but there's a wall, invisible wall there. You cannot touch them. I tried that before. I already tried that, and you can never reach them. Oh, big special. At last, it appears. Seattle too. Yeah, it's mission 14, but I don't have a wing, and my car is purple rather than orange, and it's not a Superbird, it's a Charger. Which is kind of close to the Superbird. But still, it's not a Superbird. Ooh, a Cuda. Not a good color on the Cuda though, tragic. So much for being a beast. You cannot manage to stop me with my superior handling, big special. So much for being the most broken car in this series. Yeah, sure, you have a straight line speed. I actually have a longer gear ratios. So much for that. Big special. find it funny how when you just... It spins its wheels in the air, and when it lands you just hear like the wheel spin. It's just really funny to me. Doesn't seem to have I mean, then again, I'm not touching the steering. Doesn't seem to have an effect on the car, but it's just funny. Then again, it's probably the suspension compressing, and if I touch the steering, the car will probably go somewhere. Or if it was stiffer, the car will actually bounce off and I will lose control. I don't do neither of those things, so because I have a good setup, so yeah. 5 seconds over the big special. The rest of the field is there, but it's not exactly like they're going to achieve anything of relevance. Okay, we're going to get a Chevelle out of this, which I'm going to sell, because there's nothing to do with it. Ah no, it's a Superbird, it's not the Chevelle, what I was thinking of. The Chevelle is a price car for hot rod competition, I think. I really like the Superbird, but sadly, there's nothing to do with this thing. Only 9,000 credits, you're insane. Absolutely insane, GT4. Alright. We have done a few races for this day, for the Sunday, but I think it's time to wrap things up. In the next installment of this stream, we're going to take this Dodge Charger to do all of the American events, which means we'll have to do the American Championship where there's GT race cars, and we'll have to beat them with this muscle car. So it's gonna be interesting, you don't want to miss on that. So you better stay tuned, join the Discord server if you haven't already so you can actually know when I'm going live. If you haven't left a like on the stream, now is your last chance to do so. And I want to thank everyone who has joined me for this live stream. Hope you all have enjoyed it, hope you all have a good weekend, a good Sunday night. And you all start your week nicely. Going to work, school, both, whatever you have to do. So we'll see each other soon. Take care and bye for now.